Okay, we're live. I was trying to stall because we got birds going crazy here in Costa Rica again. Live stream from Costa Rica. This is going to be my last week in Costa Rica, so we'll get back to a normal setup pretty soon. But so this is my mobile setup. Having fun here, and a friend just sent me this, and I know people are going to join in on this late if join in at all. But this was funny. This is a funny one to me, and not only that, not only is it funny, it's just. I think it's going to be enjoyable to work on. Early in the morning, I move a little bit slow, so I like to take care of people's problems if I can, help out, help the community, and I usually pick a few questions to answer. I always learn from it. You guys, maybe you learn from it. Who knows? And yeah, it's a common practice for me to start my day working on someone else's stuff for just a little bit. Gets me going. But this is a longtime friend sent me this, and so this one's fun. It seems like it might be fun. I'm gonna try. I was thinking about doing this entirely in Photoshop and kind of flexing my Photoshop skills, but then I thought, yeah, why not? Let's do it in Chief. We could do this in Chief pretty easily, more or less. I'm gonna need a few assets from this shot, so we're starting in Photoshop. Um, and I mean, one of the assets I'm gonna want to handle here is just this sign right here. We want to get this into Chief so that we can put that into render. So I'm just gonna start by doing a perspective crop tool on this, and then we're gonna do some infill so that we kind of guess at what the rest of the sign looks like. Again, this is what can I do in an hour. If I finish this in an hour, great. I think it's going to be more like an hour and a half, depending on how much trouble surfboards give me. Yeah, I'm not sure. We'll see how that ends up. So perspective crop gets me this. That's pretty cool. Welcome people that are just jumping in right now. Again, just a fun, silly project. I'll open it up here one more time just so we can take a look at it on the screen. This is what I'm recreating for a render. Let's see if I can open that up. I was sent, let's see, this PNG file, and we're going to try to render this out. Fun, right? All right, so first up, we've got this asset. We can do some infill. We can do just some fixes. I mean, there's a reflection on this. Maybe that's no big deal. Probably won't spend that much time on it. If you're familiar with Photoshop, I'm just going to use over here on the right-hand side, if you can even see it, the spot healing brush should get me pretty far if I just click there, click at the bottom of the screen, shift, and that gets me very far. Actually, that's good enough. Same thing. We're barely going to see this in the render, so not a big deal to just let Photoshop do the heavy lifting. Probably won't do me any good to try to automatically fill in here unless I got in tight into these pixels. And then something I might use is I might use Gigapixel to try to upscale this, which is from Topaz Labs. I used that service in the live feed yesterday, and that's a really good one for upscaling. It does some kind of AI upscaling. Figured if I just fill in the text here, that will be good enough because we're going to get reflections of this anyways. Yeah, I feel like that's good enough. Done. And so my thoughts on this in terms of assets is, do I want to save this forever? Probably not. So I'm going to save it to a project folder, which means I've got to create a project folder. So let's get it organized. Buddy's name is John Conradi. So that's going to be his project folder. And then my typical CA folder plus our dated today 220603. This is going to be Design Review A version 1. We'll name it his name, Conradi, and then RR, my initials. And that's going to go inside of the CA folder. And then we'll save this asset in there. We'll just call it the signage. And maybe we want a reflection map on this. Maybe there's a little bit of difference in reflection from one aspect to another. So let's Control J this over, and then I'll run a high pass filter. And we'll just get a little variation. It might just help this a little bit. So there's a high pass filter. Control U, pull the saturation out so we can get a true grayscale. Control M for a curves adjustment, and I'll bring it in kind of closer to that gloss. It looked like it was a glossy sign, so we're going to get somewhere in there. And then we've got a little bit of movement here in the roughness map. So we'll call this signage roughness. Export this as, and then JPEG. It's very low resolution. That's fine. We can leave it as such. And then I want to open up Gigapixel, which is made by Topaz Labs. I think I paid $150 for the suite of tools. That is a denoiser, an upscaler, and then what's the last one? A sharpener. Let's not download the newest version. I don't need it right now. Let's get into that project folder, and we can drag and drop this into my Gigapixel. There we go. So it's going to do its magic. It's going to show me a before after. After it's done doing its thing, you can see in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen, if you can even see that, it's doing something to upscale. There we go. That's it. Simple enough. We scaled it up twice, so twice the resolution. We can save it in its same place. And let's do a side-by-side comparison just to look at it. And it's going to be tough to see this in the feed. So here's the signage, and we're going to throw this on the right-hand side. And here is the upscaled image. We'll throw it on the left-hand side. And let's get a zoom in. Yeah, I don't know if you can tell this from the feed, but this absolutely looks better. Isn't that crazy? So we upscaled this image quite a bit, and it's looking good. Cool. So I can get rid of the original. Oops. Oh, it doesn't want to let me. Here we go. All right, so what's next? We close this down. Let's go take a look at that original image again. So we've got surfboards. I just downloaded the surfboard catalog from Chief, so I'll have to open that up. So let me get into my assets catalog, CA, downloaded, just so you know how I'm organizing these things. And then I don't remember what that catalog was called, tell you the truth. Let's see. It's probably like boats, watercraft maybe. No, I'll have to go look this up again. Let's see, vehicles number 3, watercraft. So maybe called bonus vehicles. Bonus watercraft. There we go. Boy, the quality control on naming in Chief is just crazy sometimes. Okay, there's our watercraft, and here's what I was looking for. We wanted some surfboards, and hopefully I can kind of colorize these. Actually, it doesn't look like I'm going to get to. Looks like they've got some really lame texturing, which that's an important part of this. Unless I want to edit this in Photoshop, I'm going to have to do it here. Maybe that's valuable. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to place the surfboard in plan. I'm going to choose my wall tools, shift select, get rid of this, pull a camera. And then once I've got this camera, boy, we're already at the 10-minute mark. Look how quickly the time burns up. Now I can export the surfboard. Now this surfboard's looking pretty choppy. Maybe we get a better one on 3D Warehouse. Let's take a look real quick. Maybe it's worth our time. So again, I got an hour to complete this task. Let's go 3D Warehouse. And by the way, you the viewers, let me know if you have any questions. Happy to answer. surfboard. See if we can get something a little bit more graphical. Oh, I'm searching local. I need to be searching across the site. There we go. See, these are already looking better. I like that we've got some graphics here that we might be able to edit on a model by model basis. Would be cool. It looked like from the image that we were provided, these are more like stand-up paddle boards, actually. Let's see. Those aren't great either. So maybe we'll go back to surfboard. One word, two words? Boy, that's cool looking. Oh, here we go. We've got a stand-up of surfboards, and maybe that's all we need. Like a pre-done deal. And then I don't need to bother texturing. Yeah, let's do that. I think that conveys the message that my buddy was trying to give, which is that they've got some kind of surfboard rental. To sign in, I'm going to do that off camera real quick. Do I want this in my catalog? Yeah. So let's organize this. It's going to go into models. What do we organize this as? Probably recreation. So let me just make a new category. Recreational. Surfboards. And then we're going to rename this group of surfboards. And then we should be able to drag and drop this into our plan view. Although, look at that. It's being a little bit goofy. We've got some kind of... I probably know exactly what's happening here. It probably has a preview image, which is would have been a standard back in some of the older versions of SketchUp. Oh, no, they just included this by accident. Oops, look at that. Funny. So let's just delete this person. Delete surface tool should work for this well enough. Could have done this in SketchUp, but that's okay. We'll just do it here real quick. That was just a 2D image. That should be it. And now we can convert this to a symbol, and it's going to be furnishings exterior group of surfboards. Let's see, did that place right? Oh, no, we still have some left over. So we went over this yesterday in my live feed. I'm going to use the line over method so I can kind of try to locate what little element is left over that I need to delete. And actually, I don't see it. Let's edit the active view. And in backdrop, let's remove this backdrop. Background color, let's just go neon. See what we can do here. Yeah, I don't see anything. You know what? This group of surfboards is terrible. Look at me, I'm already waffling. This doesn't look any better than the other ones. Yeah, back to the drawing board here. Let's get a surfboard that actually looks good. Maybe just this one would be fine. And we'll just change the colors. Surfboard. All right, I'm going to be happier with this. There we go. Much better. Okay. So there's our one surfboard. Let me get the reference image back up onto the page. I might use a little trick here. A nice little trick to bring in a reference is, let me get to that root, drag this into Chief onto the screen, and now we have our reference image to work from. So let's build some walls out. This is pretty straightforward. We're going to have a stone wall. There's going to be a couple door frames, door, some more doors, an overhang. So we've got a building, right? We're going to have a terrain. We're going to build a walk off of that terrain, or we could just use a piece solid. Again, this is quick and dirty, rendering quick as we can. So we've got, let's pick out the doors here. We've got what looks like a window first up, or we could just use our fixed door tool. We're gonna have to try to get the scale of this right. If we're to guess, that's what do we think? That's 8 foot probably height. Yeah, more or less 8 foot height. So we've probably got 6 foot width, or maybe it's even a square. Let's call it 6 foot width. So 6 foot wide. And then we have a door swinging in. We're going to mull it. Then we've got, and that's a full height door. A little brick facade. Gated door, which will be challenging. And then those fixed windows again. Fixed door. Looks like it's got a single light, so maybe we'll set it to be like 8 foot. And then a bunch of stuff beyond that. Another set of doors. And then another storefront window. So once we get this window set, we'll reflect it about and get that next one set. And then we're going to be off scene. There we go. And then we've got a big overhang. So we're going to have another floor here. And so we'll extend this out. Let's call it 8 foot overhang, something like that. And let's take a look at what this looks like in 3D. Okay, so let's see if I can't. Can we drag and drop into a 3D view? No, we cannot. So we need to import into 3D view. So same thing. I'm going to, in my library, I should have a folder called send and delete, which I don't. So Z, send and delete. These are for objects that I'm only using temporarily. So I'm going to do a new object. It's going to be just an image, and we'll grab that image. And there we go. Should be able to place it. Okay. So this first door panel, I could just mess with it here. I think I have a tool that turns a door into a frame only. Somewhere. It exists somewhere. We're also going to have our structure is just going to be slab on this, right? So we need to designate our room as just a slab. In fact, if I wanted to just do a quick and sloppy, I could just say that this is a garage, right? And that would get me most of the way there. But I don't like that option. So instead, let's just make some adjustments here. To our structure. So we're going to do. How do we do this? This is a tricky little thing. Mono slab should sit us on the ground. And our, what the heck just happened? What did I do wrong? What do we think? Floor supply, build foundation below. That was weird. Floor, 0. That was funny. Okay, there we go. And I'm just going to manually tweak my terrain here. And then floor above. Oh, maybe it's because I set the second floor as mono slab. Is that what happened? That's what happened. Funny. Floor into this room, build foundation below. No. Chain floor supply by foundation. No. Default. Okay, that's what the issue was. I did this to the second floor. This one's the mono slab. This probably isn't fun to watch live, but it might be fun to review later. Who knows? Okay, so back to this. We've got, looks like the door frame is going to be, yeah, roughly 3 inches on the bottom. Probably fine on all the sides, and then no casing. And then I should be able to use my adjust material tool in the component level, pick this glass. It's going to become my signage. And let's grab that texture I made. Oh, I'm getting some heavy lag right now. I don't know why. Let's set it to stretch. Stretch to fit. There we go. And we're going to have to turn bumps off. Okay, we're getting there. A little something. This door is just going to be a slab door. And no casing again. It's going to have a frame. Frame's going to be a little fat, so, or it's jam, I should say. Let's call it a 2-inch jam. Slab door. And maybe we can get that little warning sign on there. Who knows? And then we're going to end up mulling this door. So we need to get the height on this guy exact to what we want. Let's see, what's our height? We have 97-inch height. Yeah, let's leave it at that. And then it's the same thing here. This is going to go up 17 inches. And if the two are close enough, we should be able to mold these two together. There we go. And then let's change the makeup of this wall. Let's make it a brick wall. Brick 6. It's a terrible brick texture. And then we're going to want a stone texture, which let me see if I have something in my, actually kind of looks like pavers. If we're to look at the source image, it almost looks like pavers. So let me see if I've got some pavers in my materials store under hardscaping. I do. In fact, I have something that looks very close. That's actually pretty dang good right there, I think. The mold window added casing. We're going to take that casing back off. Boom. Getting there. Getting close. Let's just, for the sake of continuity, let's get this sidewalk in here. Tuck it up against the building. That looks about right. And then let's get, it's not going to be a street. I mean, it could just be a feature, right? We could just use a terrain feature. Like so. We could paint that feature with striping if we want, or we could just do additional features. Okay, what's my overhang looking like? Is my overhang too heavy? It is. It's way too heavy. It needs to go back down to like 5 feet. The last kind of bit of this is I'm going to have to find some models to kind of fit that look, or I'm going to have to Photoshop them in. Again, trying to keep this to an hour, but all right. So then I've got this like kiosk type deal, which we could do out of a cabinet. So let's do that. Let's do full height cabinet. Be up here. It's going to be big enough for a surfboard. And we're going to have to do a few things to make this look right. So I'm going to do it in 3D so we can get an idea. Let me pull that image a little closer. I don't think I have, what layer does an image go on? That's a good question. Goes on the in images layer. Isn't that funny? Didn't know. Let me turn on images so I can manipulate this. Oh, they are turned on. And here it is. So that'll help for 3D. Get it a little closer. Okay, so this little rental section here looks like it has a little bar across the bottom. So maybe we'll kick the toe kick off, and we'll make this just, for now I'm just going to make it a blank area. Maybe we'll apply a texture to it, and it's only going to be, say, 4 inches tall. And then this section is going to be opening. Okay, and then we'll have the surfboards. Now I could turn this into a solid symbol and have that, the surfboards be incorporated in some way, but we won't do that. And what's our next kind of thing here? Got kind of a rolled edge, as if this was built from poles or something, and it looks like it has a mesh on one side. So it might be nice to, paint that mesh on a section. So we might do a little bit of tweaking on that one side. So I want to specify shelves, manual, 0 shelves. And it does look like it has a top, but we're going to get rid of, not the separation, but the blank area. And then we'll get rid of the moldings. All right, so we do have a top, and its box construction is framed. It'd probably be better if we went to frameless. And then it looks like front side's back. On the right-hand side, I'm going to match the front so that we can paint a mesh on that. Maybe just one component side. Not sure that I'm going to get to do that. I might need to do a custom front. And I don't want, on the front, I actually don't want this to be a separation after the blank area. So we're going to delete this. There we go. Now it creates a lip. That's pretty much it right there. And we want to get this graphic. So we might need to go back into Photoshop and get that graphic. Nope. There we go. All right. So again, going to use my perspective crop tool. This is just going to be a so-so. If my buddy gives me the source image, I might be able to do a better job of this. There we go. Because that's what we picked out of that, which doesn't look that great. Let's do a little warping here and see if we can't square this up. No, that's not going to do it. I don't want to do a warping. I'm going to do something different. And in fact, I did that all wrong. We actually want perspective crop on just this image. That's it. That's all I want right there. And then we can flip that image. There we go. Whew. Yeah, that's about as close as that's going to get. Okay. And then let's run a new crop on it and use the crop tool and unbound with height resolution and get this close to what that original image was, which was we had some kind of a blue. Let's grab this image. I'm going to throw this off to the side and then sample it from Photoshop. If it lets me. There we go. Okay, so that's the blue. Now switch to paint bucket tool. There we go, more or less. So let's export it. This is going to be another source image. It's super stretched, but I'm not, well, yeah, let's stretch the image first. Let's do a Control T on it, stretch it out a little bit. Or rather, let's do this. Let's go unbound in the width. Let's double the width. I think it's going to be where it looks the best. All right, now I can export it. And man, is that pixelated. So side banner, diffuse. And let's see if we can run gigapixel again and upscale this. So if you're just joining me, I purchased this software this year. It's been a fantastic software for post-processing and pre-processing materials, post-processing renders. It's called Topaz Lab is the vendor, and they make a suite of tools, one of which is an upscale tool for upscaling images, which we're about to run right now and see what we can do with it. So I'm dragging an image here, and then it's going to do some magic for a minute. Just wait for it, hopefully. We've got it set it as a 2-time upscale, so it didn't really do anything great with this. I mean, this is such a pixelated image. I would be surprised if we get anything good out of it. But we'll see. And then maybe my client, if you will provide me with a better image. Yeah, that's pretty rough. It's pretty rough. But let's save the image anyways. And we'll see the difference between the two here. We'll do a little side by side. So let's just get this kicked over to the side. We can get this one kicked over to the side. I don't know if you guys can see this or not. Yeah, not a whole lot of difference between the two. This worked really well earlier, didn't really work that well on this one. So, in fact, the original even looks better in this case. Fair enough. Okay, so I want to apply this to just one side of the cabinet. How do we do that? I might need to do a panel here. Or maybe I need to convert this to symbol. What happens when we just paint this on the component level to one side? It's going to paint the whole box. We already knew that. So maybe this would have been better made, out of a polyline solid and with some subtractions or something like that, right? Or we can try to do, maybe we'll do a 0 frame because we just want that graphic on just the one side. I mean, Obviously, we can kind of fake this. Maybe I'll just fake it just because we're trying to get this rendering done super fast. We'll just draw a P solid here, and we're going to end up grouping it together. So we'll make it a 16th inch. You know, we'll fake it this time. No problem here. Let's paint it something that so that I can map it easily and then pick up that diffuse texture. Oops, and I forgot one thing. We need to stretch it. Stretch to fit. Yeah, not looking great, but close enough. We've got an opening on the side. Probably that's fine. We'll probably do this same detail here. We'll select this solid reflected about. We're going to change the material on the other side, and we'll switch it over to a mesh. So I'm going to use the adjust material tool on the component level. Copy this as what it is. Let me go look through my material store and see if I can't find a mesh that's maybe in my metal textures. So I've got alphas. This is a bunch of meshes within alphas. This one looks like it might be a good one for our use case. So let's grab that. We're going to scale this down. It needs to be a PNG though. That's a problem. I'm surprised that that's not a PNG. So in fact, it doesn't have a clipping mask, or it's being used as a clipping mask. So let's see what else we've got. Do we have a PNG in here? Oh, interesting. None of these are PNGs. These must have been processed at some time. So let's see if I can't bring it into Photoshop from Chief. Does this make Chief crash? That'd be interesting. Oh, we can do that. That's cool. So all I'm going to do here is do a blend style. I'm going to turn this into a layer and then do a blend if it's going to let me. Oh, we've got a problem with the encoder. We're overloaded right now, so it's not going to let me do anything to this image, which is a big shame. So what do we do when our encoder is overloaded? Good question. I'd almost have to do this off feed. So let me get back into my material store, into metals, into alphas. Let's group these by type. And let's see if we have any PNGs here. So we do have a few PNGs that are already done. So we're going to grab this square mesh in Chief. That'll get us there. Square mesh is a PNG. There we go. Although that's still wrong. The black is still coming through. Let's try this one. There we are. So we're going to rotate this 45. And then not a stretch to fit. We want this to tile. We're probably going to have this tile at, let's see, we've got 5 squares at 20 inches, makes it a 4-inch square. So we want to cut that down by 4 or so. Oops. So we're going to make it a 5-inch square. All right, so that's getting me there. That's kind of what I wanted. Bam, perfect. So what's our source image? Our source image also has a blank area in the top. Again, that's challenging. Almost just going to say that we have no top. So really probably could have just built this out of solids instead. I'm going to hold my control to get this real small. There we go. There's our mesh. The rest of this should just be black, right? And the back of this, who knows what the back of this is? That do anything? No, that's terrible. Maybe we'll just do it a blue. That feels right. Okay. creeping up on that timeline. So let's get a surfboard in there. We can paint a few different colors. We can rotate it, flip it about. Let's get, how many of these? Four copies. So copy tool 4. Yep. And we'll rotate some of these in place. Kind of bend them if we can. Might need to do this in an elevation, be easier. If it lets me. Look at that. It won't let me. Why not? Well, we could do it on the symbol class side. I don't know why it's not giving me edit handles. Probably because I'm not clicking on the true side of the symbol. There it is. Needed to click on the fin. So and then it looks like two of them are kind of standing upright. That's fine. Let's take a look at what this looks like. All right, we're getting there. We're getting very close. What else do we have in this image? We have a row of 3 pipes with this kind of guy. This should be easy. We're going to make a 3D deal out of this. We're going to make a piece of 3D trim. So let me do 8-foot section. Okay, and that's going to be a molding. We can just convert it. I could have used the molding tool, but let's just convert it. Molding polyline, yes. And 0-inch height's fine right now. Let's do a round rail. There we go. 2.5-inch pipe. What would the standard be there? Maybe it's a 3-inch pipe. And actually, let's change the height of this molding to 1.5 inches so that we're sitting on the ground. Should be sitting on the ground. And then we can make 3 copies of this. Is that a 3-inch pipe? Actually, it's probably an 1.5 inch pipe. In which case, it's only sitting 3/4 inch off the ground. There we go. So let's make a copy of this. 2 copies. And that didn't seem like it's making 2 copies. That's funny. Here, let's see what that looks like so far. Yeah, pretty close. What's our source look like? Probably not gapped that far, but I could undo that. Why not? That's better. There we go. And then we'll just do a solid. In fact, we'll do a solid in 3D. This is what's great about Chief's new solid tools is doing these in 3D. Oops. Let's see if I can get to them. There we go. So we'll do a little solid here, just like so. Raise it up. Right? Center this. We can't center it on this center pipe because that center pipe's offset. We could center it and then move it, the known coordinate, right? So we can center it there and then slide it over 3/4. That's kind of it. And then maybe we'll chamfer an edge after we scoot this up just a little bit. And no, actually, this is probably right. This is probably about right there. So let's chamfer. And our chamfer is going to be, let's do a full inch. And in 3D, it should be able to select that edge. Select this edge. That's it. That's all I wanted. Bam. Just like that. Let's shorten this up a little bit because it's going to be butt to another one. And then put it to the edge here. I don't mind leaving a little gap. That's fine. And let's see if I can reflect it about. Yep. Perfect. Now we're going to select, let's put some a metal texture to this. Okay, now we're going to select this, 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 and this. And we're going to convert it to, what do we want to convert it to? We want to convert it to a molding. So this is going to be a 3D molding. All right, now that we have our 3D molding, we should be able to select that from the library and draw it right. Well, I used the wrong tool. Let's do just a molding line. So I should be able to draw this just like so. Let's take a look at what that did. Bam. And we only need to raise this up. How much? 96 inches maybe? Oops, a little too much. Down. Up. Could have done this precisely, but it doesn't really matter. We'll get there. What is this? 3 inches? Nope. One more time. Minus 3, no, 1 inch. Bam. We're getting there. Can we move it in 3D? Not very well. If you're just joining me, trying to recreate this image for a buddy using Chief, doing a rendered image. He wanted an improvement on his render, which was pretty funny. Do we have a metal gate like this in Chief? That would be my next question, because that would be slick. There's a couple potters here. Great. Sorry to be so focused on the ladies. That's just part of the job. We could do this curve. We could throw a car in there. We could do these stripes. That all works. Maybe we'll do a terrain feature for that. So let's get some of the striping in there. Terrain features. We'll have this cut any overlapping terrain features. We can get rid of our 3D molding we just created. Let's figure we've got some stripe lines here. How wide are those stripe lines? Do we know? I used to know this because I used to design some parking lots. So are they 6-inch wide stripes? Are they 5-inch wide stripes? I feel like they're 5. And then we would have to colorize it somehow. Not sure how. We're gonna have to do that. We're not gonna be able to see it unless I raise this up. Let's say that this is 12 inches and clip overlapping. And now we can colorize it. And for now, I'll color code it yellow. Should be able to see that. Where'd it go? Where did it go? No? Nothing? Isn't that funny? Is that because the elevation set wrong? Let's try. Terrain to top. Terrain. Yeah, it's popped up. Isn't that weird? So where is this? I don't see it. Oh, is that it? No. Tell me what I did wrong, guys. This is not clipping overlapping terrain at all. All right, well, we can go to a P-solid, but that's not a great solution. It's not the solution I wanted. That could just be my connection. Am I uploading anything? No, but internet seems a little slow today. Maybe that's why I lost everybody in the beginning. I had a bunch of people leave the feed right off the bat, which was too bad. I always like having people here. All right, so stripage is going to be, we've got a good 5-foot gap before we're getting that stripe. Just the blur again? Man, internet here. I can't wait to get back to normal internet so I can show you guys some cool stuff, because this is a fun one right now. Yeah, I don't have anything uploading that I know of. Dropbox isn't uploading. What a shame. Kidding me? So sorry, guys. I wish I could do something about it. I've got no tools at my disposal for that. Need to talk to Elon, get that satellite going from Elon. No kidding, right? Man. Too bad. This is actually turning out to be a really fun project already. I'm loving it. I'm having a great time. So we were supposed to get a new router here yesterday, like that was going to make a difference, but yeah, nothing happening. Listening along. Well, maybe I can say something interesting. I don't know. I wonder if something in my encoder is slowing stuff down. Should we just kill the feed and I can upload a video later? Maybe that's more interesting. What do you guys think? Because right now I'm killing it. This looks amazing already. Fun to listen along? All right. Fair enough. Yeah. The picture changed? Good. Hopefully it's catching up somehow. Um, maybe having the source image in here is better than the radio. Don't let me start singing. That would be really bad. Do you guys do? It'd be nice if I actually um, had some way of getting you guys on the mic here. It would be fun to interact in that way, I'm sure. I think I'd have to list you guys as guests, or who knows. So this is the beach scene. Part of the feeling out the beach scene. I'm going to give you guys maybe an asset. Some of you guys probably know about this, but maybe some of you guys don't. So we're going to look up a new background image, and I want to get a beach. So let's see if we can find something from Polyhaven for HDRIs. HDRIs are not utilized in Chief, but it's a good starting point for Chief. So I'm just going to do a quick browse if I can and see if I can't find a beach. So I can designate that we're in outdoors. I guess I can designate that we're in nature. So I'm on polyhaven.com and we're in their HDRIs section, and I'm looking for a beach type spherical backdrop, and then we're going to convert it and use it in Chief. And hope I do see one beach here. Let's see if we see any others. And maybe I'll convert this for Chief and then send it out to the Free Symbol Friday. We got a lot of free symbols to send out today, so that could be fun. Oh, there's a road marking tool in terrain. Okay, I'll check that out. I didn't know that. That's new to me. Oh, I guess I did know that. I've just never used it. That's funny. I do remember that. Because they have a cul-de-sac and a number of other things too. See? Always learning. Boy, you could kill some hours looking for a beach. I should just go take my camera down the road and get my own spherical backdrop. Maybe I'll do that, guys. If it gets too sunny later today, I'm going to bug my godfather here, and we're going to go down to the beach and we'll do a new spherical backdrop. We'll do Garza Beach. Why not? I have all the equipment with me to do it, so no reason not to. This is a nice night beach. All right, so let me just pick one so we can move on, and maybe I can get these assets in your guys' hand to play around with. So I'm going to use Spagia. Spiaggia Mandela. So let's do a download here. And I like to send these things into, I usually send them into send and delete and then process them. But this time around, I might want to keep this asset for myself and then convert it. Actually, at 8K, we're not doing too bad with 8K in Chief. Chief can handle 8K. So maybe we'll bring this in. But I want to convert this to a JPEG for Chief first. Chief doesn't do well with PNGs as backdrops, so it's a good idea to convert these HDRIs. So I'll bring this into Photoshop, which Photoshop is hurting with my encoder right now, and then we'll export this out as a JPEG. And since we're barely going to see this, maybe I should decrease the size of it. Nah, let's leave it. We'll leave it 8K. Chief, by the way, limits you to 4K. So Chief's backdrops are 4K. So if you're ever wondering why mine look better, it's higher resolution. And if you have the machine for it, why not? A big reason I limit my textures and try to make my textures as realistic as possible within 2K is so that we can do things like pump up the Chief backdrops. So here we go. We got Spiaggio. I don't know how to pronounce this. You're up and kind of working out. Cool. Awesome. We'll probably lose that real quick as we load up a backdrop. All right. So in my materials section on my library, I do have backdrops. And that loads up really slow because they're heavy files. Or maybe I don't have them in materials. I thought I did. Rab's backdrops. Here we go. Greater than 8K, less than 8K. What happens if they're 8K on the dot? I guess we put them in greater than 8K. Yeah, this is taking forever. There we go. So add new backdrop, and then we're going to go locate that file in my CA backdrops. Spiaggia. Well, I wish I spoke Italian. Should learn it. All right. What are you bragging about, Ryan? What do you say? I have 5 beaches within 10 minutes of my house here in Panama. We do need a beach meetup. That would be awesome. Okay, so I'm bringing this in. It is a spherical backdrop. Bam. And then let's drop it in the scene. Simple as that. Simple as that. Okay, so, and bam, that looks great. And you know what? Let's use our new tools, edit tools. We're going to rotate this. Horizontal offset. Let's kick it around 122 degrees, see what happens. I wish they had some way of previewing that, but that's pretty good. I feel like that's pretty solid. So that if we have some reflections going on in any of these doors, do we have any reflections? Yeah, we have a storefront window here. So maybe we can get some beachfront reflections when we switch to PBR. So let's kind of prep this door. So we're going to say it's a 3-inch bottom height. It's a 97-inch overall. And we're going to put in some lights in here. 1 light vertical. Oh, and 1 light horizontal. And then no casing. Or maybe they had casing on this one. Right? That is cool. Quick and easy. Quick and easy. I like it. All right. What's our source image say? That's a window, but it's got a lot of white to it. We can make it a heavy reflection white. We can make it a mirror, but that would be too much. We could just put, kind of fake this look. Maybe I'll fake it. Maybe we'll just put a P solid in here behind this, paint it a super gloss white so that maybe we can fake our reflections the way we need to. So kick this over to white. Are we coming up on the? Oh, we're at the hour mark. I was supposed to be done by now. Dang it. Roughness 0. And then let's kick back out. You're going to see a lot of lag all of a sudden because we're going to get back to try and render here. We pull the source image out. And obviously these doors are still wrong. What's that door supposed to be? Oh, it's supposed to be you guys know if we have a metal grate door? Can I zoom in tight enough for you guys to see this? Like that typical metal security door. Stop looking at the women. Look at the door. Tell me if we have a metal security door. I need to know if we got this. Otherwise, I got to fake it. I don't want to fake it. That looks like a lot of work. Okay. All right. So we're just going to do a test render on this if I can find my scene. So we would edit this field of view. We want to get a tighter field of view. So let's go 35. And then we got kind of this angle. So we got to improve the materials on the surfboards. The material on the stone wall looks pretty good. Our pipe setup looks pretty good. I mean, the poster looks fantastic. That's just awesome. What else we have? Why, when you mold two things together, they don't create, they take away our jam? What's the deal with that? So that's kind of what I want. All right, unmold. Fine. And also, I feel like this needs to be flipped. What was our source? What did our source say? Source is, yeah, these are too far, recessed too far into the wall, right? Can we edit those together? I'm not sure. Fit jam to wall. Fit jam to wall is fine. Where's our recess option? In options, recess to main layer. Let's see what that looks like. That's not what I wanted. Not really. What's our existing? They're kind of molded together. Why does it mess with the frame like that? That's terrible. Glass panel door with mesh instead of glass. Yeah, I could see that. Surprised we weren't getting more slowdown right there doing rendering like that. This glass definitely has to change. It doesn't look right. How do we do that? This might just need to be... I'm not going to get the right reflections, but maybe it needs to be general material and just white with 0 roughness. Yeah, okay. I was frozen. Should have been frozen. Should have been frozen because we were trying to render. Let's do some color coding on the frame. We've got this blue. Actually, that's the wrong color blue. So let's use a neon purple or something to fix that. And then we'll adjust this. It's supposed to be some kind of like a teal. What do we have here? Start with the cameras. I love your red line camera, but do not know how to recreate it. Kind of looks like a vector with outlines. Oh, all right. How to recreate. Doug, can you tell me more about that? Recreate what part of it? Just the rendering style of the red line camera? Is that what you're thinking? Okay, so we want all these frames to be this blue. And then source image again. What do we got? We have those grates here. That's a regular framed door back over there. Metal grate here. And then we got some graphics on this one. Who knows what that says? Yeah. Taking this too far already, but you know what? We're halfway here. It's kind of fun. So how do you do the molding and maintain the frame? Someone told me that one. When I mold these, oh, it did maintain the frame. There we go. Better. Okay, that's looking pretty good. So security door. Let's see if they have it. Let's see if they have it in their available online categories. Security door. Doorbells? No. Home Essentials security, but they don't have a security grate. Viewing it in its vectorist, but shows the mirrors reflecting. Okay, so that's just a standard rendering camera, Doug. Standard render with the line over option in rendering techniques. Okay. Standard render line over rendering techniques. That's it. Okay, which we could do right now. If I open up rendering techniques, which is in your 3D menu, line drawing on top section. That's what you're looking for. And the only other change I have to it is I have all these values zeroed out. So there's no squiggle. There's no squiggle, there's no amplitude, no frequency. That's it. Yep, you got it. Cool. And then the only other trick to the redline camera is that we have a defaulted redline notes system built for that camera only. It's a nice way to communicate with clients. I used it yesterday. It worked great. Okay, so I'm going to try this, what Ryan mentioned, which is the road marking tool, which I don't think I actually have. That's why I don't use it. It's not in my terrain toolbars. So maybe I'll customize and get that road marking in there. Road tools, road stripe, road marking versus road stripe. Okay. Oh, and switch the plan. Oh, I do have it in there. I just never use it. That's funny. All right. So where are we at? Camera's there. We need this much space. Look at how easy that is. What a dummy. What's the distance between these? 6.5 feet? Who knows that one? I'm quizzing you. What's the parking space stall distance? Uh, there's got to be a standard parking space dimension. 9 feet. 9 feet between. Okay. Did you guys know that? 9 feet between? All right, so we'll use my... Oh, okay. So everybody knows, because you've used this several times and not everybody knows this. Would you please type out what AHJ means? Let's go. I wanted to, let's do, there we go. 9 foot. How many of these I want? Well, let's just go 9 foot in between. And then let's do, man, I'm really digging the new tools. So here's the next one for you, Ryan. What is the width of a curb? What's a curb width? What's a curb size? What's the standard curb size? One of those little, is that what it's even called? What do they even call those? What do they call those? forget what those are called. Um, so what are those called? I cannot remember. Parking stops, huh? 9-inch at base and 7-inch at top for concrete ones. Okay. What about width? Look how helpful people. So what's the width? Parking. You said 7 to 9 inches. And what happened to my road marking tool, Ryan? Is it because I have a terrain feature here that the road marking isn't working? Maybe that's why I don't use it, because it didn't work. Don't recall the length of them. Are they 36 inches maybe? So here's our chamfer tools again. What are we going to chamfer this? It's a 9-inch width, so 4-inch chamfer. That's too heavy. 3-inch chamfer. Yeah, I like that. Close enough. Oh, of course there is. You're not letting me have any fun. Really? They call it a parking curb? No. Let's see. Curb. What is it? Is it in the core libraries? I have my own curb. I must be in a bonus library. I don't see it. It's a curb. Okay. But I don't see, we don't have it. We have a line style curb. Search parking curb. I'm searching curb. There's no curb. Only curb thing that they have in here is something that I made. I searched parking. Okay, parking. Oh yeah, I made a parking curb, but I think I deleted it. Oops. I mean, we could take this a step further and make this really pretty. We could do let's do a cylinder. Let's do a little cylinder and subtract it. Why not? Something like that. Like about. And take this, subtract from that. Did that work? I think that worked. Let's see what it looks like. We get a hole from that? We didn't get a hole from that. Oh, I needed to check the elevation. Oh, it's a bonus item. Is it going to look as good as my curve? Maybe not. Let's do a little edit, undo. There is a 4-inch curb under roads and parking. Under roads and parking, but is that bonus? It's got to be bonus. What happened to my camera? Why am I? Oh, there we go. All right. So the reason these didn't subtract is because they're way down here. And that's not a cylinder. I thought I clicked the cylinder tool. All right, so it's a bonus category. Gotcha. Okay, so here's our cylinder tool. Let's see where that is. Where'd that line up? All right, there we go. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna make a better curve than they have. I bet you anything, this is gonna be a better curve. Subtract these, subtract this. And then we'll throw a little bolt in there, right? I'm not doing this to spec, so shoot me. My bolts are probably way too big. Where's that? Oh, there it is. Do. I mean, that probably doesn't look real at all, but whatever. It's not going to let me reflect about center now. Unless I click on the top, maybe? Oh, there it is. Damn. I wonder if we could unionize these. They're not actually touching, are they? Can we union them? Maybe we can. Oh, look what it did, though. That wasn't a smart idea at all, was it? Okay, so for those of you interested, you check this out. There we go. All right, so Ryan, what's up with this road marking tool? How come this didn't work? Is it because we needed to have roads here? Let's make this a road. Maybe that's the problem. That wasn't a road, that was a terrain feature. So let's make a road, straight road. And here's the problem with straight road. I don't want a curb, so we know that much. Let's just get a little point to point. I don't like the way the roads do inference. It's not helpful. So now I need something to snap to. There we go. Okay, let's kill the curbs. Macro substitution error. This has been coming up in my templates. There's nothing wrong with it. It's okay. We need to report it though. Yeah. Okay. Curb. Has curb? No. Has no curb. See what we got now. Now we got some road marking. Look at that. Beautiful. Beautiful. What is this material though? What do you think this is? How do we make a road mark that looks really, really good? How do we do that? We want a realistic road marking. So let's throw some tricks at this, right? Let's get into image asset search. So I'm going to use my image asset search from my website to do road marking. Let's see what comes up. Did we get anything useful out of this? Not really. Oh, there we are. That's what I want right here. Something like this. And you know what? This isn't for commercial use. Sorry, PNG tree. I'm just going to steal this. That's just the fact of the matter. Oh, it's a free download. Haha. I didn't say that out loud. Okay, continue with Google. Sure. You guys can't steal my info this way, can you? Oh, that's obnoxious. Get this out of here. Download PNG. We could download PSD. That'd be even better. Let's do that. Oh, that's premium. It's a premium feature. Free download, 2 downloads a day. Okay, sure. There we go. So I'm going to take this to my send and delete folder because I don't care about it. I'm going to end up deleting it anyways. And then we're going to bring this into a new document in Photoshop. And then what I want to do is I want to crop this. And I'm going to crop this to the top image. Like so. We're going to just leave enough to show the kind of jagged edge. Okay, that's it. Now that I have that, oh, and we can't do a blend diff because the encoder, video card encoder is loaded. I can't wait to get home because we've got a new setup with NDI, which is I'm going to be able to record from one of my laptops, stream from one of my laptops that is hooked up through NDI through my network to the main machine that's doing this work so that we don't have any latency when we're running some high fidelity graphic actions. If you follow that at all, great. If not, sorry. Don't know how to explain anything better than that. But we'll get into that. We'll get into that at some point. So I'm getting some error from somewhere. I don't know where. It's not letting me do anything with this layer. I think some kind of Photoshop error somewhere. It's weird. It's not letting me copy this layer. Yeah, very odd. Let's see if I can't export as. Let's just export this as a PNG and reprocess it because it's doing something weird. Weird. There we go. So, oh, it let me do a layer style action this time. So here's what we're doing. Let me zoom in real tight. You can see here, this is the background. This background's black. So I'm going to do a layer style edit where I am saying that this layer, we're going to remove anything that's black so that we're left over with that right there. A little bit of pocking. That. So I'm getting a jagged edge, and let me feather it back. Easy enough, kind of, sort of. Maybe I won't feather it back. Somewhere right in there, I think is what I want. And I'm not bothered that it's got some see-through sections because I think that the road marking tool probably overlays. If it doesn't, I'll fix this, but there we go. I'm going to export this as a PNG. Make sure that transparency is checked. Need to figure out a place to even put this. It would probably be in my pavement section, and we're going to create a new folder, road marking. And this is going to be road marking 1 fuse map. Now that we have that, let's also make a copy of that layer. Control J to copy it. Let's run a high pass. We're going to get a bump map out of this. I don't even need a high pass on this. We could just do a hue and saturation, pull the saturation out, and then maybe we'll do Control M to do a curves adjustment. Hue and saturation out again. Let's do that. That'll be my bump map. Close enough. That's a heavy bump map, so maybe I do want to run a high pass. Other high pass, let's narrow it down. Real light high pass. There we go. And Control Shift W, export as, doesn't need to be a PNG anymore, it could be a JPEG. Doesn't matter. JPEG's compressed. That's easier to remember. What was this? Road marking 1/bump. We could have reduced the resolution. I don't know. I don't really care. It's fine. So now let's see if we can't apply that here. So in our texture source, let's locate that in pavement, road marking diffuse. We're going to do a stretch to fit. Hopefully we've got the right orientation. We can drop that bump map in there. Decrease its bump. What does that look like? Let's see what this looks like. I might have stretch to fit going the wrong way. I think I do. So we're going to have to rotate this 90. Look at that. Boom. Can you guys see this? Ah, that's a beautiful thing. That's a beautiful thing. Let's see. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see this rendering, but let's take a look at what it looks like. Oh yeah, this is looking fantastic. You guys probably can't see it, but it looks good. Need to increase my roughness on this guy or decrease it. Right? Cool stuff, right? Fun. Yeah, I'm with it. This is not supposed to be metal. We're going to take metallic off of this. Pick the roughness up a little bit. What else do we have in the source image? We still need to create a security door. We're going to build a security door for this, just for this. All right, so here's another way of doing a security door. And we've gone over this before. This is going to be kind of trick, kind of cool. I love doing this. Let's see if I can remember how to do it. We're going to use Convertio. And so I need to let's do my image asset search again. Yeah, they do. Yeah, it's gonna look really good when we're done. I'm killing time right here. This is not a revenue project. This is just for a friend. But you know what? It's worth it to me, dude. I'm supposed to be on vacation right now. I'm getting a lot of angry clients though. We need to make sure I'm taking care of them by the end of the day today. Okay, so what do we have? But also, this is part of it. Got to be in touch with the community, doing fun stuff. We got to do some fun stuff sometimes. It's important. All right. What am I looking for? I was looking for security door. So, surprised that specific security door didn't come up as like the first search item. This might just need a regular web search instead of PNG assets, right? So security door. I feel like we could find this pretty easily somehow. That's it right there. Let's see if we can get one with no background there. This one's even better, but that looks like it's a really low resolution. It is. What's this one? That's a much better resolution. But it would be kind of difficult to process out. Maybe not. This looks pretty good. This is really close to what we want. But I kind of want these curly cues in other places. This is cool. I like this. This is it. This is what we're going to use. Okay. So let's see this. Let's work this out. This is going to be kind of fun. We'll send this to send and delete. I'm going to delete it later. That's the thought process there. Drop it in. We want to basically I want to clone stamp this section over here over to this section over here. So we need to pick our clone source and flip it, right? And then line it up like so. Here we go. Okay, there's our security door. Should be it. That should be it. Done. Now I want to export this again. And actually, maybe we will clear the background. So we'll turn this into a regular layer, click layer style, and we're going to remove the white background. And then we're going to export this as a PNG. And where should we export this? Materials, what would this even be? We'll bring it into metals. Or it should actually even be in models. It should be in models. So this is going to go in the doors section of models, and we'll call it security door. So this is going to be our source PNG. And now we want to get into Convertio. .co, Convertio.co, and we can drag and drop that image from our models folder. Except for I want to set what my conversion is. I guess that's okay. We can do it after the fact. So we're going to convert this to a vector-based or CAD-based DXF file. There we are. Boom, boom, boom. This should take a second. We might hit some lag. All right. So now we have a DXF file. I love this. I love this trick. This is the best trick I've ever come up with. I feel like it's so fun. Okay. Security door, and then we'll just do -DXF. I'm going to open up a new file. It's going to open up our template file, and then I want to drag in that DXF. We'll go through this. I think I'm just going to click next a bunch of times. Look at that. Boom. Isn't that fun? Delete all the walls and stuff. Delete all the cameras and stuff. I don't need any of this crap. So, what do we do with this? Well, there's going to be a bunch of broken line segments. This is going to take a little bit of work. So it actually did the inverse of what I wanted to do. Whereas these are all like whole. These are going to be subtractions. So I'm going to need to create a CAD box and then subtract all this stuff. And actually, what is this doing? What are we looking at? Where's our source image again? Okay. Yeah. So this poly box should be solid. And then we'll have to do a bunch of subtractions. That's okay. I wish they had a pin tool for subtractions. But here we go. Just going to subtract. This is going to take a minute. You guys can go take a break. But we are creating a very cool looking security door. Maybe we'll give this away for free today. Probably should have put some fill in here so you know what's subtracted and what's not. That would have been helpful. Oops, let's not get, this might start lagging. I've noticed X14 is not the best with some heavy CAD. Sorry, Chief. I did say that out loud. Although I haven't necessarily experienced the lag I was experiencing in the beta. So I'm not sure if that's still true. Maybe this is on the official release, so maybe it's improved. I didn't see it in the change log though. Look how sexy this thing is going to be. Kidding me? So what's the thickness on these things? I think 1.25 inches. Did you guys follow how I did this? Someone's messaging me, and it's not one of you guys, so that's fine. Okay. No worries. Thank you for helping us out, Ryan. As always, your knowledge is a fantastic help. And you're saying I'm frozen. That's too bad. Probably frozen because we're dealing with heavy CAD again. And download upload. Download upload's happening. Hell, my Chief's even frozen now. Come on, Chief. Chief is really frozen. So they didn't fix that CAD issue. This is the same CAD issue I was running into before. This is a shame. Chief, you guys gotta fix this. This is terrible. It reminds me of working on the old computers where you're just sitting there hoping that the spinning wheel goes away at some point. Meanwhile, I'm losing viewers while we're sitting here waiting. All right, what else can I do in the meantime? Oh, geez, ironing that out. Maybe we'll close some of this stuff down. Yeah, we're frozen up on the network side. We're also frozen up on Chiefs' side, which is too bad. Shut down some of these items. Yeah, sit tight. We'll get back to it. It'll come around. Tried to select a CAD box that's had a bunch of deletions now, and Chief is just rendered useless. Yeah, this is crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Chief's just sitting here spinning and spinning and spinning. I do not want to lose this door symbol, dang it. Well, actually, I don't want to lose the work we had on the project so far. Hopefully it's auto-saved, though. It should be. Saves every 15 minutes. Yeah, it should be saved. I think I'm going to have to force close this. It's not doing anything. Mm-hmm. All right. Force and Chief closed. Too bad. Hopefully I didn't lose too much work. I lost the whole thing. We're really screwed. Okay, we got that back. That's good. We did not get the other untitled item back. So I'm going to drop in that DXF file again. And you guys will have to let me know if the feed's back up. I wish Chief gave us a way to pin the subtraction tool. So many times I could use that. Okay, so here's the trick. We really can't click off of this CAD, the selected CAD right now, and try to click back onto it because it's going to be problematic. So this is kind of the only challenge with this method. But it is a fast way to make a very dynamic symbol. So what we did was we converted an image to a DXF file, brought it back in, and now we're subtracting all of those closed polylines that came from the DXF image into kind of a dynamic cutaway polyline box. And then from there, we'll convert it to a solid. And then we'll convert it to a door. But this is how I did my own logo in 3D. You can do any logo in 3D this way. Works really well. Just try not to jump off of your selection is all I would say, because Chief has some kind of slowdown in exporting for that. I'm still here, just doing a little bit of tedious work here, cutting away all these. We got 2 more to go. And then with a little bit of luck, we won't crash, and I should be able to convert this now. There we go. 3D solid. Bam. And what ends up happening? Let's see if Chief doesn't crash. It's doing its spinning wheel thing again. Man, what a shame. I should have done this in X13. Oh, I think we got it. Did something. The faster we can convert this to a symbol, that should get us past this issue. Once it's a symbol, we won't have this CAD issue. Okay. Yep, there we go. There's our 3D solid. It's bringing up our menu. I actually reported this a while ago, and they wanted an example, and it's like, you can't recreate an example. You know, just look at the recording. I don't know what to tell you. It's not built into my templates necessarily. All right, so what do we have here? There we go. Look at that. Fantastic. Just can't manipulate it. In fact, the less clicks you can do, the better. So here's what I would say is, let me just hit cancel, and I'm going to convert it to a symbol, and I'm going to have to resize it, if it'll even let me. This is the only reason for me to keep X13 loaded up right now, is this action. So we're back stuck on a spinning wheel, and we've got encoder issues. So for some reason, it's hitting the graphics card. Who knows why? Don't know. For now, I'm going to convert it to a fixture just so we can work with it, and then I'll get out of this file as quickly as possible. There we go. We've got it in the library. I can close this down quickly. Another big waste of time right there. Not really, though. This is a good symbol we just created. Come on. Come on, come on, come on. There we go. Let's close this. Yes, get out of here. All right. So I'm going to do new file again. We'll drop that fixture in that we just created. There we are. And actually, I'm going to specify it before I drop it. We're going to reconvert this. So retain aspect ratio, sure. And then our depth is going to be in 78 or so, something like that. Yes. And let me edit the rotation on this, flip this up 90, place this in plan, and I'm going to reconvert it. And we're going to convert it to a door. Door symbol, right? Kind of, sort of. We just don't have a grate behind it yet, so maybe not. We'll just convert it to a fixture again. Fixture interior, add to library, yes, sure. And now we need to put the screen on it to make this finish up, right? So let's place it in plan one more time. Let's get rid of this other item. Let's get rid of all these items. Don't need them. And let's pull a little wall elevation camera. Let's drop a polyline solid on the back side of this door. All right, that's going to be 16-inch. Oops. Or a 1/4 inch, maybe? Sure. And we can put that same material we did before. Let's see. So let's just do on the component level, we're going to paint this. Let's just call it mesh. Metal mesh. This is finally turning into what we want it to turn into. Let's get into my alphas. We're going to find that same square mesh. We're going to decrease the size of this square mesh substantially. Like a 4-inch square mesh. Rotate it 45, I think. Let's rotate it 45. And we might even blend with the texture and throw some black on it. Should be able to do that. Yeah, there we go. And then black stainless on the rest of the frame. And let's decrease that mesh even more. Let's make it a 2-inch mesh. And now we have a texture I can get behind. I might want to change this mesh color actually. Maybe I have a better alpha. Let's see what we got. Something with a lot more to maybe this perforated. Is this a PNG? No. Type. Here's our PNGs available to us. There we go. Perforated clipping mask. Let's see if this is actually see-through. And it is not. Too bad. We need to make this work. Let's go. Boy, when you guys download stuff from me, this is the level of detail I get into. This is why you like my stuff. Maybe if you do like my stuff, this is why. Is what I would think. Is that I do like to get to the point where it is up to my standards. So I'm going to take this perforated clip, throw a layer style on it. Can't do it. I don't know why it won't let me do it. Let me just see if I can work around that somehow. Let's do a new document. Let's do a 1K or a 512 texture. Let's paste it into there. Scale it. Let's see if I can get it to a layer style now. I can't. I don't know why. I don't know why it wouldn't let me do it in the other way. So we want to invert this. I want those circles to be that way. Everything else to be black. And then I can do a layer style to erase that background. Control Shift Alt W, export PNG. Here's our perforated deal. Security door, we can leave it in here. Yeah, perforated one. Diffuse. Back in chief. Throw this in here in the clipping. And we have that in the models, doors, security door, perforated one, diffuse. Now we can see through it. And it can increase back in size, like a 6-inch. See what that looks like. Perfect. That is perfect. Man, I love it. All right, so convert this to a door, grabs security door. And actually, Man, this is what I should have done. Should have turned this into a shutter. Let's turn this into a shutter instead of a door. So this is going to be millwork. Grab security door as a single shutter. There's a problem with that, but we'll get around it. It's not a perfect symbol yet. I can make it one in SketchUp, but I can't do it here. So we'll stick with this so far. I'll have to conform this in a little bit. So here's what I'm going to do. Open up the symbol, and we're going to half the width of this in the bounding box. So the width is 34, and then we're going to divide this by 2. So now it's half of that width, and then we need to offset it by 17.5. So in our X position, offset this by 17.5. I think that should get me to what I'm trying to do here. So that, let's just draw out a few exterior walls. And we'll set a door, and this door is going to have a shutter. And we're going to add that to what we just created. Grab security door, shutter, and we need to specify that we have only one shutter, left side only, and we want to show it closed. Show closed. And so my offset's a little off. How do we do this? Match opening width. Match opening width. We make this a 17-inch. Oh, so I didn't need a half of it. I didn't need to do a half deal here. Let's do this. Let's take this away and start back from where we were before. Let's go ×2. Let me see if that fixes it. And it's reversed. We need it to reverse the other way. So the match opening width, we want to go 36. There we go. And we need to invert it. Open the symbol. Rotate, rotate. Okay. And then we probably need to offset it by its depth in the Y. There we go. Now let's try it. Okay, so I offset it the wrong way. So we're going to do a negative offset. Now let's try it. And look at that. We're getting there. We are getting there. This is becoming a security door. Okay, so now I want to, what are we going to do? Recess the door. Recessed to main layer. Let's try this. What does that do? That's it. That is it. We have a security door that can be done with a glass front. Isn't that cool? Let's pull this full circle. Probably going to remove that hardware because it's not perfect. So no hardware, no exterior hardware, none, sure. Door type is going to be glass panel. We'll just do a 2 1/4 uniform, 2 1/4. That's it. Bam. Yes, 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 yes. Okay. So I'm going to copy this. And we're going to paste it. And how are we going to paste it? We are going to for these two. Flip. Boom. Boom. And let's see what this looks like. Right? It's cool stuff, right? Man, I'm totally with you. Let me pin that up again. Half of the tricks I come up with just come from understanding how the software is doing what it's doing, right? Like when you understand how the software is functioning, you can get into this stuff. You can really take a deep dive in here. So like right now, the wall depth is different. So I'm gonna have to change this recessed designation. I'm gonna have to play with that. Recessed. Let's undo the recess. See what happens. Yeah. So these actually look good in a thick wall. I just want to remove the casing. Is all. These exterior casing. But yeah, they do need to be recessed somehow, a little bit, because we're losing something here. How do we set our recess? Wish we had more options on the recess part of this. Yeah, that looks pretty good. That's pretty good. What is this door symbol? Oh, our glass is wrong. That's half the problem. We've got this white glass. So glass standard. Paint it onto some component level. There we go. We can ditch this. That wasn't useful. Oh, I'm getting a huge lag here. Oh, it's previewing the glass standard. Funny. I think my machine needs to be restart. I think that's half the issue here. So what vehicles do we have? That's our next thing. What's our vehicles? So part of the trick with my operable windows is that I use shutters to create the frame on the windows. So my frame for my Anderson windows are frames that are cut in half and then applied as either side so that you can dynamically resize those Anderson windows. If that makes any sense. So let me just type in Anderson. You can take a look at this real quick. You can, I don't know, you can't see this in a preview, but it's a half of a frame. And then that's applied to my casement window. So that if I place this, as you resize it, it resizes that shutter frame. So the frame itself, the rails here, let's do a line drawing on top. All these rails, all these little details, they resize automatically because they're applied as closed shutters. And even when you size this down to a single panel size, it still resizes. You can see the vector split on it, you know. So that shows up in vector, a little bit of split. But other than that, ends up making for a dynamic symbol. So it's got a shutter that has an offset that presses it into the wall, basically. Okay, I want to do a little check render here, which means we're going to lose feed for a minute. I just want to see what this is looking like, how close I'm getting. Man, those security doors look good, don't they? Yeah, we need to change the roughness on them. But yeah, they look good. Okay, where's my source image? So security door here, and actually one of these does not show a security door. The other one does. So security door here is a different story. And it looks like it has an opening as well up above, which you might need to tweak out. Okay, so this one was not security door. This one is. And this one looks like it had a doorway. Center it up. Concentrically resize. And then we'll stretch it in the head jam area. I'm going to just move this over instead of tabbing through. We'll move this over specified 48 inches. And that way I can stretch this up a little bit. And then actually kickoff bumps stretched out to where I want it, which is right about there. I'm going to use a tool for removing the jam. There we go. And then I can locate this back 48 inches. Boom. That's exactly what I was looking for. And then I'm not too worried about painting this texture how I want to paint it. There. It's exactly what I was looking for. Okay. So really we only have a few like planters that I got to mess with. Maybe we'll build this little detail here. I don't think I need to show the deck up here. There's a deck I didn't notice before. And then I just need to get a couple models in here, and that's it. Repaint the surfboards, and maybe get this this entry area here all tied together. Looks like all of this is all tied together as a single like mold section, which I definitely don't have this right. So let's actually, what's here? What is this? Yeah, so all of this looks like it's molded together. Oops, didn't mean to do that. This is just going to be a standard glass panel. We'll make a break in this wall. It'll be a lot easier if I make a break in this wall. Where exactly? I'm not sure. Where am I? I am basically here. So a break there in the wall. And then we'll just paint this wall this color. This makes it a lot easier. There we go. Right? That looks pretty solid. Now we need a car. Boy, the cars they have in here are terrible. I'm battling a bee if you can see it. Jeez. Okay. Always something here. Yeah, the cars they have in this program are just terrible. But we only need to see like just the front little bit of it, so maybe we'll grab a Beamer. That's not really suiting for a surf community that wants to go rent surfboards, is it? But we're only going to catch the front like little lip of it, and that's it. Yeah, something like that. That's pretty much it. We're almost there. Let's see what this texture looks like. How do they make this texture? Oops, I want to edit plan. All right, so we can edit this texture and make a couple more of these. You can always copy, always copy from this location, drop it into, if you're in Windows Explorer, get out of my face, dude. Let's drop that into Windows Explorer. Then we're gonna have to delete the portion past file name so that we can find it, which is it's called unnamed something. Should be easy to spot here if I just look in the unnamed section of imports from SketchUp. There we go. Or there we go. Okay. Easy. Easy, easy, easy. We'll drop an adjustment layer here. That's a hue saturation adjustment layer. And we can kind of tweak this on the fly and then export this again. Get some different colors here. Just going to be a JPEG image. And boy, I really don't care to save this. I'm just going to keep it in send and delete. Doesn't really matter. Or we'll keep it in the project folder. John Conradi. Spelled his name. I spelled my buddy's name wrong. Isn't that great? Okay. Surfboard 2. Let's change it again. There. Surfboard 3. And we'll do maybe one more. There we go. Like that one. Surfboard 4. So now we'll edit this on a component level. And look, it's that easy. It is that, oh boy. What happened there? You know what happened? I do. This is a SketchUp thing. It changed our aspect ratio automatically for some reason. So you just need to switch it back to 1:1 and unbind it. Little tricks that I know. Tons of little funny tricks. You're going to see it again. It was 1 inch and 1 inch. You're going to need to uncheck retain aspect ratio, bring it back to 1 inch and 1 inch. One more change here. Get out of my face. Let's see, what do we do so far? We did pink or teal? Did we do a teal? I thought we did a teal. We did do a teal already. We didn't do the pink one. That's what I wanted. Now I just need to go find some people walking down the beach. I wonder if we can find that in 3D Warehouse. I think we can. I also want to change this blacktop. It's too black. It's too dark. And I probably have a better blacktop texture, honestly. Maybe we'll just go find one in my material store. Can you guys hear me? I'm talking really low. I think I like, since we're going to spread this texture out a ton, it'd be nice to get something higher resolution in here. Not necessary, but maybe nice. Concrete 21 looks like it might be pretty good. Let's try that out. And not blend with texture. Yeah, that's pretty good. I like that. Looks sharp. Okay. Now, what's our last bits here? I want to make sure these surfboards have some gloss to them. Do they? Yeah, they do. A little bit. That's all good. This upper section should have been white. Yeah, just like this 1 hour, 2 hours in. Yeah, I will say it was worth it for that security door. I will use that again. So that's clever. Yeah, I'll be using that one again for sure. I also like the road marking pack that we did. That was pretty good. And the curves. We came up with curves. And the 3D pipe molding. Yeah, we got a few cool assets out of this little session. So maybe it was worth it, right? Oh yeah, but buddy's going to be really happy with this. Okay. What else did I have here? Oh, that's right. We're looking for people assets. So, and this is my new favorite thing is editing these people assets. Although, for the sake of this, we're not going to get so far into it. And I do, I have noticed that there are quite a few bikini-clad people. Um, when I was looking before, which I thought was funny. But I mean, I guess you need it, right? You need them in all aspects and walks of life. And now that I'm looking, I can't find any bikini-clad people. Of course, when you need it, it's not there. Dang it! I should have been saving them. I thought there's never any use for me to have a bikini-clad person in my line of work. Let's try it though. Boy, these are terrible, terrible models. We might need to just Photoshop these people in. These are really bad. Maybe swimsuit? Maybe just try that. Oh, that's all right. That one's all right. These poses are ridiculous. It'd be nice if we had one walking. That looks like it's just an image, which you could use an image. This one's really good. It looks like. Is that an image or a 3D person? Can't tell. I suppose it's not the worst job in the world if I get to do this every once in a while. It's so hard to tell if these are images or what. That looks like it's just an image. Yeah, 2 polygons. That's just an image. What's this one? Oh, here we go. This is the one. This is going to be it. He's only going to get one. That's all he gets. Okay, so I'm going to put this in send and delete because I'm going to probably process this out. Woman in bikini means that I'm going to retexture it. When you get something from SketchUp, it only has the diffuse map and that's it. And unfortunately, that's just, it doesn't look great when you put it into a rendering. So let's fire up SketchUp and see what we need to do to delete the other aspects of this model. Hopefully SketchUp is firing up. There we go. I need a lot of updates, but we're on such a bad connection. I'm not going to do any updates. So what's happening here? Okay. They just posed this person a bunch of different ways. Is it different poses? Looks like the same pose. Yeah, it's the same pose, 3 different ways. Cute, cute composition, but don't need it. Save as. And now we'll put this in models, people section, bikini. And then what are we gonna name her? Name name her the project session, John. Why not? Joni. It's gonna be Joni. Like Johnny. Joni unprocessed. We could take this into. I could do some additional maps on this to make it look better. I don't know. We'll see what it looks like. We're gonna bring it into G first, and then we'll see what it looks like. We can always remap and not need to re-import. We'll just remap. So bring in Joni as fixture exterior. Yeah. And there we have it. I don't know why these people are walking like in a parking lot. That's kind of the funny aspect of it, right? Why are they in a parking lot walking through? Last bit of this is I'm going to pull camera in between right about here, and we're going to do some little detail that they had with a solid. Not too worried about its accuracy at all. Pull this camera back. Little break right here. Got some weird flangey looking thing here, some kind of gusset, who knows. Something like that, I guess. Maybe we'll pull another 3D view here. We'll turn this into a bit of a flange at the top. There. Let's see what that looks like. Yeah. Sure. And let's check this whole scene out. What do we got? Let's render it. Now I just want to adjust sunlight, kind of catch sunlight a certain way, right? Oh, we forgot our backdrop. Where's our new backdrop? Forgot our backdrop. Need to touch up this blue texture. I want to put a slight bump map in this blue texture. So we'll just get into my global bumps. And we'll put some just noise in there like that. There we go. Make it very, very slight, subtle noise. And we also want to get our new backdrop in here. Which one was that? We called it Spiaggi. Yeah. Throw that in there. Okay. We wanted to fix the roughness on this metal. We'll throw in a roughness map maybe, and we can just use my bumps again and something with constant noise there. That's good. Let's double check the scale on this. We want that noise to show up as like a 5-inch texture or something, 4-inch texture maybe. There we go. Those doors look a little funny, but that's okay. We can deal with that. So what's our source looking like? Our source looks like this. We don't really see. Oh, I need this stone wall to move past that section. And we need our model to be no roughness. She's looking very shiny. %. There we go. I'm going to make a break on this wall right here. And then I'm going to duplicate it about center. So we get, oh, that didn't do what I wanted. Come on. Let me do that break again. What happened here? I feel like something screwed up. Now this wall looks like it's all one type, and that's not true. Come on. Yeah, that's a different wall type than this. How can I do this? I can. Yeah, there we go. That works. Oops. No, I don't want you to take it over. I just want you to butt to it. Let's see what that looks like. Yeah. All right. I think that's it. I think rendering gets to be done now. Got the planners, but I don't know how important that is. I have a couple of planners, potted plants. Let's rotate the backdrop, and I think that's it. I think that's it. Once we rotate the backdrop, the other thing we can do. All right, so we have this person, and we know about gigapixel. Let's pick up gigapixel again one more time. We're going to upscale our person. So I'll get into models, into people, into Joni, and let's see. That's not where I need to be. When we imported this, the material dropped into my chief architect. So that's the program file. Let's see. Let's go back. Back. Templates, Mad Max, textures. This should be in imported. And it's probably in the unnamed section. No, it's not in imported. It's in my textures. SketchUp? Maybe? Where you at, Joni? There she is. Is that her? Oh, that's Julia. Where is Joni? Well, let's find her the other way, the way we did before. Adjust material tool. Just take a picker on her. Copy, cancel, paste. Oh, so we're in the right location. We're looking for something with the object, OBJ. So let's just do a search. OBJ. Here we are. So we'll take this into gigapixel and see if we can't scale this up for a better looking deal here. We'll go 2 times. And it's doing some processing. You guys are gonna see some lag. You guys are going to see a lot of lag. We'll save this right next to the model. Rain's coming in. I can't wait till they come out with that 4090 card because I'm going to switch right over to my old desktop again and be not burdened by throttling on a laptop. Throttling's just tough to work with. All right, so we upscaled Joni. Now we need to apply that texture. That must have been already a high resolution because this is lagging big time. Just had a lack of sharpness, I guess. Okay. And then the last bit is I want to rotate my backdrop so I get a better reflection off my windows. And I'm going to preview this one more time, and then I'm going to render it, and then I'll drop the image in so you guys can take a look and let it catch up in latency. So rotate this backdrop one more time. It's still not quite looking like what I want it to look like. That's looking pretty sharp. Yeah, this is really looking not bad. Not bad at all. Got the surfboards. They're kind of translating well enough, I think. Let's rotate the sun. Let's get some better sun angle here. We'll try a couple different rotations. That's probably a little bit better. Maybe more interesting for the client. That's not good. We want to hide the fact that Johnny doesn't look that realistic. Some definition on the surfboards. This is looking pretty good. I think I can work with this. I think I can make some improvements to this in post. So let's roll with this. The last thing I want to do is kind of tweak this texture. This texture is not looking as good as I want it to. Oh, and this doesn't have a roughness on it. We can grab the same steel texture from over here with this. There we go. That looks better. We still have something weird over here that I don't have. Also, this material back here is too bright. We don't have enough contrast against the surfboards. So maybe we'll change it to like a gray. Just dumb it down a little bit. You think darker or lighter? Probably darker. Yeah, that's much better. Terrain to top. Let's go. We're gonna make a little bit of a lip, just the tiniest little lip here. There we go. I like that better. Fix the concrete texture. Let's get better concrete texture. I'm probably lagged out on your guys' end, so I will show you the end result here when I get to it. Nice to get some pitting in the concrete. Well, not that pitting. Let's see. There we go. Drop this down a little bit. Just a little bit of movement. Movement that you probably won't even see. Alright, so there it is. Let's export this. Make sure I have the sample rate set well enough. I think the sample rate it's out right now is plenty. We're not getting any fireflies, so it's fine. So let's export this. We're at a 2048. That's suitable for like Facebook, which I think is what he's probably posting to. And let's get it into his folder. Renders. Camera 1. Camera 1, V1. And we would even put the date here typically. 20603. Camera 1, V1. And you guys are probably logged out while it's doing this. It's going to take us about 3 minutes to render. And then we'll show you the final image, and maybe we'll post it. Get a lot of questions asked about denoisers. You can see while this is processing live, you might not be able to see it on your end, but I can see after it finishes the quadrant, it does in fact apply a denoiser. Pretty sure Chief's using the Embry rendering kernel. with a Intel's open image denoiser. I'm not sure if it denoises on the normals level or just the diffuse. After we're done with this, I'm probably going to go take that security door in the SketchUp, cut it down the middle, and apply it as a shutter again. In fact, I could do that right now. I'm not sure you guys can see it on screen, but wait, no, we can't do it right now. I need to be able to export it first. I'm going to turn the backdrop intensity up now that I'm looking at it. Oops. And probably going to bring this into Photoshop and put a camera wallpaper on it. Okay, so that's it. I want to save this camera. I want to save this file. Oops. And then we can shut this down. Have a quick log on resources. Let's get into Photoshop. Let's open that rendered image out. Just doing a little bit to this will take us a long way. What the heck is going on here? Why did this get saved as a square? Did you guys see my settings? I must have screwed something up in the render settings. Isn't that funny? Too bad. That sucks. Okay, so unbound in the width. Let's say that this is going to be. Let's see if we still have looking graphics if we increase the size. Let's go 3,000 maybe? 3,400? We still have. Yeah, it still looks pretty good. That was funny that happened. Perspective's a little skewed. We could probably still increase the size. 4,000. There we go. Now we're getting better. And let's conform this to 16:9. So image size. Let's lock this and what am I trying to do? I'm actually forgetting what I'm trying to do. Let's try just to crop. It's 16:9. Okay. Yeah, we're there. Okay. Okay. I'm not going to do any. I mean, we could do some soft light edits where we're doing some exposure stuff here, where we're kind of feathering the shadows out. But I think I'm just going to throw a camera raw on it and be done. Let's run through a couple of different filters. I mean, the subject matter is the surfboards, and I did a terrible job of making those stand out, so that's too bad. Let's see if I can do some edits myself here. So I want the temperature to increase just a little bit. Let's get our texture definition up just a little bit. And I did a terrible job on the surfboards. Vibrance isn't necessary. I might in fact turn vibrance down a little bit. Dehaze might get us some definition. Yeah, it's going to be really troublesome to do the surfboards with out some touch and go edits. That would be too bad. Probably should have pulled that surfboard back into the scene a little bit more. Maybe I'll throw one exposure adjustment layer, pump this up a little bit, and then invert that eye, and then brush it in. On a feather brush. It's a little bit better. Yeah, that looks better. Helps to know your stuff in Photoshop, right? I think that's it. Another. We're going to stamp that image, throw another camera raw on it, and then I want to pump up a little bit more on that temperature again, but maybe we'll do some color grading instead. So let's, what we want, shadows we want to be a little bit blue lighting, but highlights we want a little bit of sunlighting, daylighting, and can we blend the two and set our balance a little bit. Midtones, move back to the blue lighting, push more on the highlights. That's looking a little too sunny. And then let's do an overall temperature change. There. That looks okay. And my color mixer on the blues, let's make the blues a little bit more blue. Boom. I think that's good. Yeah, I like it. Sure. Non-paying job. Thank you, Doug. Thanks for hanging in there for as long as you did. Sweet. That's it. That's all I had. And the last thing I was going to do is I was going to fix that security door. So those of you that are still sticking around, I'm going to do that real quick. We'll just do new plan. We're going to place that as a millwork. Let me get to the walls, delete those. Let's get a camera up and then export this to SketchUp. Export as a 3ds. Send and delete spines to the door. And back in SketchUp, delete her, import that security door, and send and delete. I think that's it right there. Wait, are we in? That's a JPEG file. Where are we at? We are 3ds security door. There we go. Okay, so it's going to be off center because I didn't place it right. That's fine. And now I want to get into my, let's see, I want perspective, so that's going to make it ortho. I want a front view. Where is it? No. This one. No. Come on. Oh, I'm not getting the right view. Let's see. There we go. That's what I want. Now I'm going to open this component level up and use this slice tool right down the middle. I should have done something, but it didn't. What's happening? I'm going to explode everything. Let me see if I can explode everything in this level. Explode, explode, explode. SketchUp's freezing. It's exploded. Come on. Nothing but problems. I'm telling you. What's the deal, SketchUp? Come on. Let's try to boot this up again. Okay. Let's try it again. Explode. Can we get that? Did that work this time? I feel like it did. No, it didn't. Boy, it doesn't like us. This isn't even that complicated of a symbol, so I don't know why it's not exploding very easily. Probably uninteresting at this point. I'm going to fix this off camera. Anybody that's still watching, thank you for joining me. I'm going to close this feed down, and hopefully we'll get this security door symbol out to you so you can download it for yourself and play around. Thank you for everyone that watched through this nonsense. Hopefully you have a little bit of fun on your Friday, and I'm going to go get some revenue work done and make some clients happy. So, as always, thanks for joining. I see someone just joined late. I'm just ending the feed right now. Go ahead and watch this back. There's some useful info here, maybe some not so useful info here. I think the end result for today was really good. So check it out when you get a chance, and I'll get you some symbols here shortly. Enjoy.